Most days lately, it feels like we are teetering on the edge of authoritarianism. Every single news headline is horrible, and everything's just exhausting. And it kind of got me thinking, maybe on some level, it's always been like this, and I just wasn't paying attention. I, through most of my life, did not pay that close of attention to the news. Probably 9/11 got me started watching the news on a regular basis. And back then, I was watching Fox News. It was what my parents watched, so it must be the good network. But you could only watch so many hours of them screaming, "We've got to do something about all these Muslims," before you kind of go, okay, yeah, maybe this isn't news. So then I started doing research into what news stations were more reputable or which ones didn't have like a strong bias one way or the other. And sadly, since 9/11, a lot of that has even changed. But I started looking back to see what news stories happened during my lifetime. I was born in '72, and that was the last year of the Vietnam War. But I couldn't have known anything about the Vietnam War as I was a baby, and 2 years later, Nixon stepped down because of Watergate. Still wouldn't have known anything about that. You want to know what the sad thing is? If Watergate happened today, it would be looked at as kind of a blip on the radar. They would be like, yeah, he probably shouldn't have done that. What are you going to do? In the 1980s, it felt like Cold War was everywhere. They kept trying to let us know that we could be nuked at any point. We even had to crawl under our desks in case a nuke went off, because that's gonna help. And if that wasn't bad enough, AIDS started to come on the scene, and it seemed like it was on every single television show. There was always some sort of dramatic movie about it. All the sex ed teachers were telling you, you could get it. You don't want to be having sex with people. There were horror stories about needles being stuck in seat cushions at cinemas. All the gay people in society, it was just assumed that they had AIDS, which I'm sure was horrible for them. Then when I was in junior high, we got to watch the space shuttle explode on live TV. They didn't send counselors in to check on us to see how we were dealing with it. They were just like, okay, moving on, I guess. Then in 1987, we had Black Monday, which was one of the biggest stock market drops in history. Sound familiar? Then the 1990s came along, and we were at the end of the Cold War, which was nice, but it was also the beginning of the Gulf War. And we had domestic terrorism happening here. And for weeks, you could not go a day without seeing this image or this image. Then the 2000s came along. We thought we were in the future now. Things were going to become great. And then we had this. 9/11 changed things forever in our society. The way that we go to the airport, our laws. Patriot Act, anyone? They made it legal so that the government could spy on people just if they were assumed to be part of a terrorist group. So yeah, we've been slowly marching towards this for a long time, but now we're kind of hitting the head of it, and hopefully this is the beginning of the end. Maybe this is the death rattle for that shit. That's the hope anyway, because if we're going deeper into this, I don't want to be here for that.